Decentralized finance has literally doubled in the last month. It's insane to think how much these projects are pumping. Most of them, of course, are working with Ethereum. Cosmos, Binance, and other chains are starting to get involved with DeFi and its movement. Now, it's IOST's turn to jump in with a bustling decentralized finance ecosystem led by PowerMine. Some of you guys have been critical of it, but today we're going to clear up any confusion. It's legit. Let's get it. What if I told you you could buy one token and make daily passive income for multiple dApps and crypto platforms? And what if that token only had a 20,000 max supply ever? I bet you'd buy it. I know I did. Check out PowerMine.club and tell them BitBoy sent you. Welcome to BitBoyCrypto, the hardest working channel in crypto. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and join both my Telegram groups to learn more about crypto or to connect with me in the Bit Squad. All right, guys, today we are going to be discussing PowerMine and why this could be such a huge player not only on the IOST chain, but beyond. So today we are going to break down the whole ecosystem of PowerMine and highlight the new PER token, which is going to churn the ecosystem. And as you guys know, PowerMine is a supporter of my channel monthly, but I can assure you I'm more heavily invested in this project than I've ever received for promotion for it. Now, I want to clear one thing up. A lot of people have been very confused because they think PowerMine is a cloud mining operation. It is not. There's a failed cloud mining site called PowerMine.net. This is not the same thing or any way affiliated with PowerMine.club. The name of the URL for the PowerMine decentralized ecosystem is PowerDeFi.io, or PowerMine itself has the URL PowerMine.club. So I don't want anybody getting confused. But as I mentioned, the core of this video is going to be to understand the PER tokenomics. When you invest in a token like iMatch or PowerMine on the PowerDeFi ecosystem, you aren't letting someone borrow your money to invest with like people were from BitConnect. BitConnect was a Ponzi scheme. PowerDeFi is based on staking pools, scarcity, and investments into dApps, staking projects, and other cryptocurrencies. There's no trading going on here. All investments are transparent and voted on by the community. This keeps everything on the up and up, visible to every token holder. We know how successful the token PMine has been. iMatch is another token on the ecosystem killing it. But the PER token we are going to be discussing today is the linchpin to the whole ecosystem now. PER, known as the PER token, is the token of the perpetual ecosystem. The PER token and IOST both have staking pools built into the system we'll talk about in a little bit. And as a member of the ecosystem, you can participate in them. So staking mechanisms are vital to how you make money with PER. When you buy or earn the PER token, you then will earn both PER and IOST rewards. This is how you start snowballing profit from passive income. This works off a principle we discuss often on the channel, which is scarcity. It's basically the underlying concept beneath staking, which is basically the underlying concept beneath decentralized finance as a whole. Not every DeFi project revolves around staking, of course, but it is the backbone of the whole movement and why it has grown so much. It's what allows people to make that Skrilla. Passively, of course. Just like here with PER. When you're staking, you are removing liquidity and circulating supply. This inflates the price of the tokens, and you make way more with long-term profits than you ever would simply holding on to the tokens without staking them. This creates less sell pressure on the overall ecosystem. You have the ability to withdraw your tokens at any time you want. However, you will take a penalty when you do so. So, if you get into a crunch and you absolutely need money, as you can see in the image, you can cash out at any point, but the longer you hold the tokens, the more ROI you are receiving. The tokenomics of the multipliers and penalty fees incentivize people to hold the tokens. Listen, everyone's so focused on this next bull run, and rightfully so. Things are going to be bananas, and there's no question about it. However, when you get involved in a solid DeFi project, you can actually be projecting even further into the future to the next bull run that will commence probably around 2024. And if you think the 2018 bear winter was bad, wait till you see the next one. It's going to break people like you never thought it could. So for a lot of your holdings, though, you're going to want to sell at the top. But some of these DeFi projects, you may want to take a different outlook. Maybe these DeFi coins are the ones you want to start making deposits in for the next run. And these lockup periods allow people to do just that. You can withdraw your money, but you will lose your multipliers. So let's specifically talk about each staking pool individually. For the PER staking pool, you will receive per tokens on a daily basis. The tokens will be distributed in a couple of different ways. First, 0.5% of all per transferred goes to the per staking reward pool. Secondly, 25% of the early unstaking penalty fees for both staking pools go to the per staking reward pool. So when people are paying those penalty fees, it's not like some rich CEO is sitting back there collecting the profits. This is a community-driven project. So even when people do withdraw and pay the penalties, those funds are going back into the ecosystem. So for the IOST staking pool, you will receive IOST on a daily basis. That IOST distributed comes from 10% of the IOST collected in the lobby rounds. So if you want to take part in the staking pools and earn the daily rewards, you simply have to input the amount of per you want to stake in which pool and the time period that you want to lock it up for. Once you have completed that, your log is going to show up in the staking history, and it will contain info on every single transaction. Then, whenever you have pending rewards, all you got to do is hit claim to scoop them up. Now, another important aspect you need to understand when you get into this ecosystem is the perpetual lobby. So let's dig into that and check out some of the things you need to know. The perpetual lobby is one of the most fundamental mechanisms of the whole ecosystem. The purpose of this lobby is to slowly release per tokens back into the circulating supply. Now, all along the way, it's going to be collecting IOST rewards to make the overall ecosystem much stronger. When each round ends, users will deposit more IOST into the perpetual lobby. After this occurs, per tokens will be automatically dispersed to all depositors based upon the amount they originally placed in the ecosystem. When IOST is collected in the lobby, the distribution schedule looks like this. 80% of the IOST goes to the loan contract. 10% of the IOST goes to the IOST staking pool rewards that we have already discussed. The remaining 10% goes to increase the liquidity for the per IOST pair. And I'll say this. Many chains have what I call sub-tokens. These are tokens built on top of bigger ecosystems that aren't tradable outside of that ecosystem. Like exchanges, other than DEXs, will not have per listed, yet, anyways at least. IOST has several of these tokens, like Metanix, Liebi, and OTB. Tron has a similar setup with tons of sub-tokens. Now, the thing about these kinds of tokens is they don't often have a lot of liquidity. But I'll say this, the tokens attached to the PowerDeFi ecosystem have liquidity. You can trade them for IOST and actually get your orders through. This is a pretty rare thing, and I think it's a sign of what's to come with this ecosystem in the world of DeFi. The goals of this whole PowerDeFi movement is not just about being big on IOST. They want to expand and become a serious player in the DeFi game as a whole. And part of that idea is having multiple functioning contracts and purposes. When it comes to the whole perpetual ecosystem itself, there will be 4 contracts. They have the perpetual lobby, perpetual loans, staking pools, and Uniswap. These contracts work together in order to create an economic model that will bloom into something much bigger than simply revolving around hardcore IOST users. And frankly, you are lucky I've alerted you to this. People who have already been involved in the ecosystem know this is going to be huge, no question about it. The per token is looking to add much more in the future that will hopefully be able to add more utility and volume to the entire space, specifically with IOST. Not only is this great for people who own PMine or iMatch, it could possibly be huge for those who hold and believe in IOST. Look, IOST has disappointed a lot of people with its price. But imagine what having one of the largest and most robust decentralized finance ecosystems could do for the IOST price. Suddenly, people are incentivized to buy IOST to stake it, removing it from the supply. If people start understanding just how much passive income they can make with this ecosystem, they will come flocking. This was actually what made IOST so sexy in the beginning. The quarterly rewards and ranking system allowed people to make huge passive income off those rewards. At one time, IOST was ranked as the #1 staking project. Since then, at least in terms of rankings, it's been passed by many projects according to ranking sites. This perpetual lobby and other contracts could be exactly what is necessary to make returns the focus once again of IOST. IOST has been in accumulation forever and definitely found a floor, I believe, and it's trying to climb up out of the basement. PowerDeFi ecosystem has enough on its own, I believe, to be the catalyst to finally allow IOST to reach its potential. So, if you're interested in jumping in on PowerDeFi or the per token, head on over to PowerDeFi.io/lobby to get started today. I don't think you'll regret it. I know I haven't. But now it's your turn. What do you think about the per token and the whole PowerDeFi ecosystem? Have you got involved with it at all yet? If so, I would love to hear your thoughts on how it is going. I'm pretty confident in one thing. If you've gotten into PMine based on my pre-rolls, then you are probably pretty happy because it has been bringing a ton of returns in. I'm really interested to find out if anyone's actually had a bad experience with PowerDeFi. In any case, drop your comments down below and let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe to become a member of the Bit Squad. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day. BitBoy out.